Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am very glad to be part of this dialogue, which explores opportunities to strengthen regional connectivity and integration. A timely gathering, I would say. And as always, it is a great honor to be here in Baghdad, a city steeped in history and tradition, a city I have called my home for over 5 years now. Ladies and gentlemen, Iraq's centrality to regional stability cannot be overstated for numerous reasons. And this is a point I have made many times. Now, I assume there is no need to spell out the many highs and lows which faced Iraq over the past decades. All of you will already be aware, our Iraqi friends and colleagues most of all. Instead, I wish to use this opportunity to emphasize that today, Iraq is increasingly well positioned as an arena for dialogue and investment. Within this context, domestic stability is of course key. Key for the Iraqi people first and foremost, but also key for people of the region and beyond, as well as key for instance, foreign and private investors. For any country to advance on the global or regional stage, it must be trusted. And equally important, it must be able to trust others. And yes, that can be easier said than done. As we all know, trust is hard to gain, but easy to lose. And nobody denies that legacies from the past can still impact the present. In other words, building trust requires constant and hard work, and that includes the ability to self-reflect. Now, one thing is for sure, each and every country benefits from being a reliable partner. Why? Because at the end of the day, everything is connected. Ladies and gentlemen, the Iraq of today is very different from that of 2 decades prior. It has even evolved from the Iraq I encountered in 2018 when I assumed my duties. And certainly the Iraq of today has changed, even compared to that of some 18 months ago, when the country stood on the brink of total chaos, when political tensions at the time fueled an escalation that ended in armed clashes in the heart of the capital and elsewhere. But the Iraq of today has changed. What I am essentially saying is that the steps taken since the government's formation in October 2022 signal positive momentum, highlighting Iraq's enormous potential to act as a force for good, both within and outside the region. Now, of course, as I said in my most recent briefing to the Security Council, for that to happen, an enabling environment will prove essential. And such an environment requires the buy-in of each and every actor, whether in or outside Iraq. It is quite simple. No government can go it alone. Hence, everyone is expected to support this objective rather than to thwart it. Now, back to today's theme. I have often underscored the importance of regional cooperation as an indispensable tool for addressing the myriad challenges facing us today. And yes, even when the geopolitical environment is fraught with complexity, regional cooperation will serve as a crucial facilitator for stability while unlocking potential for all. Now today, as we embark on 2 days of exploring regional connectivity and integration, we, sadly, must do so with the conflict raging in Gaza. And while all of us will acknowledge the fact that many actors seek to limit wider escalation, it is also clear that the security situation in the entire region remains extremely volatile. So in the interest of domestic and regional stability, I therefore can only repeat the appeal made by countless United Nations representatives. And that is for all sides to exercise maximum restraint and, of course, to respect the principles of sovereignty, territorial integrity, and good neighborliness. Another point worth reiterating in times of heightened tensions or when countries are faced with national security concerns, established diplomatic instruments are at everyone's disposal, including United Nations good offices. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in December 2022, speaking at the second iteration of the Baghdad conference in Jordan, I expressed hope that such a demonstration of regional partnership would result in a number of concrete steps that would solidify regional cooperation, coordination, and collaboration. Steps that would even lead to a framework for regional integration as an effective means of achieving prosperity, peace, and security. We have seen successful examples elsewhere in the world, and I'm convinced that these opportunities are worth further exploring here. The simple fact is that throughout the world, regional integration is increasingly seen as indispensable. It can act as an important facilitator on the global stage, adding more weight to a single nation's voice. Moreover, most of today's challenges transcend domestic politics and state borders. Whether we talk about climate change, water scarcity, natural disasters, energy shortfalls, pandemics, financial shocks, corruption, poverty, food insecurity, or terrorism, among others, the conclusion always is we need each other to arrive at sustainable solutions. We need each other to be at our best. The good news is that today's agenda encompasses critical themes which hold the key to addressing a number of collective, urgent challenges. And rather than painting a bleak picture of the consequences if these challenges are to be left unaddressed, I would like to emphasize instead the invaluable opportunities which could help shape the future trajectory of this region. Now, I will say it again, we need each other to be at our best. And I do believe that within an environment of trust, as we have here today, that in such an environment, frank dialogue can bring about solutions. And I therefore hope that all participants will indeed engage in solutions in an open and constructive manner, sharing their expertise and insight for the collective benefit of the region. Ladies and gentlemen, let me end by again underlining Iraq's centrality to stability in the region. And to quote Iraq's Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani, relations must be based on common interests. The position of Iraq as an arena for investment and dialogue, rather than clashing power bids, for instance, it will undoubtedly benefit all. And of course, in any relationship, there has to be give and take on both sides. And this is also true within the context of solidified regional cooperation, coordination, and collaboration. As a former parliamentarian and minister, I know all about the ebb and flow of these dynamics. But again, I am convinced that a framework to foster regional integration as an effective means of achieving prosperity, peace, and security, it will go a long way. Thank you very much.